Welcome everybody to PATCHCAST. In this video, we're going to be ranking all of the mid laners in patch 26.13. Now, last patch, there were massive changes for mid lane. And the first thing that I want to do today is that we revisit last patch. And we're going to be talking about some of the big hitters and see if we're actually on the right track or if we completely were wrong before we go into the bigger changes and the viewer questions. First and foremost, right, let's start with the OP tier. Were we correct on this champion? Was it an overpowered champion, AJ?
Cassiopeia? Yeah, 100%. This is the most disgusting champion I've ever seen in my entire life. Wait, this is so ridiculous. And I think, again, like we were talking about last time, it's just pro players kind of realize that like she has no losing matchups just because of how strong Deathfire Touch is. And then like trickle down to like high challenger, then challenger, grandmaster. It's just completely running the meta. Absolutely ridiculous champ.
Yep, absolutely. There's a few champs that I want to point out that we had like some discussions about in the previous episode, which were Sylas, which were Syndra. We also had a discussion. I think these are actually the main ones that we discussed.
Hwei got buffed too.
Hwei got buffed as well. But there were also some other champs that, through revision, we wanted to just touch upon and we think we maybe didn't really place them correctly. And that is like Diana, and that is the likes of Orianna. So we're going to touch on these as well. So let's go and actually start with Orianna, okay?
Yeah.
Orianna received some nerfs in the previous patch that got a little bit of her base damage over R. They nerfed a little bit of her breach HP. That made her early game a lot weaker, and she got a little bit of scaling in return. But we put her in B tier. We already nerfed this champ and put her down. But in hindsight, this champion seems to be absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
Is that the correct way of saying it?
Yeah, D tier is the definition of Ori. So basically our argument was that for high elo, we knew she was going to be really bad, right? But what we didn't think about is like it actually affected low elo as well. Like even in lower elos, people are really struggling. I think it's because the base HP, it just that affects every elo. Even the passive damage, you know, that can mess up like your last hitting, that can mess up like people's trading, you know, even at lower elos.
I think they removed that, right? From the nerfs, or didn't they?
Did they? It was the E. It was the E. I thought it was the E armor and MR.
I think they also cut that. Let's actually go to the...
Let's go back and look at it. Yeah.
Let's go back at the changes here. So the exact changes that they made were they reduced the base HP. Oh, they actually did reduce the damage increase per stack. And they also reduced the base damage from R and D. So massive early game nerf, right? Huge.
Yeah, crazy. And because we thought that, wouldn't it affect lower elo because they're going to get to the AP breakpoint. But I think flat HP on a squishy champion, no mobility, that's way too big of a change for every elo, you know? Like, there's going to be so many instances where you die randomly instead of barely surviving. Yep. I think just that alone will kill a champion, right?
Yeah, so especially this in combination with the previous change that they made, right? This one was not an easy one.
That one was absurd too,
Yeah. So two things I want to mention, right? First and foremost, if you're giving advice to Orianna players right now, what should they do? Transition to Viktor?
Transition to Syndra, dude.
Yeah, transition to Syndra.
Let's get the elephant out of the room here, right? We gotta address the elephant. Man.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Syndra, but first, do you think Orianna's going to be played at MSI?
That's a tough one. I think maybe later into the tier list, like if there's no other good mages left. Yeah. I think so. But I think for solo queue, complete trash champ for climbing right now in solo queue. Complete trash.
Yeah, I think she's probably still going to be played at MSI. The pros have too much experience on Orianna.
Much mastery on her.
Much mastery, They're going to pick it up. Yeah. So let's address the big fucking elephant. The purple, pink, orange, blue, green elephant in the room here. Which is Syndra. And we knew that the Syndra changes would make it fun.
I was already complaining, man.
Yes. So to give you guys a little bit of a heads up for the ones that weren't there last week, Syndra got 10 flat base damage at every Q rank, and she got 5% AP scaling, plus the 20% base health that they cut from Orianna, they gave it to Syndra.
Absurd, man.
Absolutely absurd. Now, what has happened in the meantime in solo queue? Syndra has warped herself to the OP queue.
Most absurd thing. I was literally complaining last patch. I knew this shit was gonna happen. Tim is paying someone at Riot Games, guys. So we got to figure out who this guy is paying to cause Syndra to be OP for 99% of the last 3 years. She was weak for like 2 months, and Tim pulled out the big bucks, paid this guy like 10,000 a month, and he was like, "Hey, just get Syndra to OP tier. Like we need her to be the best mid in the game right now, so I can climb because I'm gonna start climbing." That was Tim's take here.
And you know what the most beautiful timing was? First of all, I'm starting to climb, and the climb is going easier than ever. I've never had an easier challenger climb than this. Plus, the other thing is that I just released the full Syndra guide on the coaching program and on my YouTube channel, Coach Mysterious. So it was like the stars were aligning. Like this was God's gift to me, being a half decent human being over the past few years. Just try my best here, you know.
Karma.
The karma's finally getting back at me, doing all these good deeds. Finally, Syndra buffs. But yeah, to be like, get away from the joking point here, right? Why are they buffing Syndra? Syndra is just not a good pro champ because playing Syndra versus players that have 1 MS and have hands made of gold is really, really, really hard. Dude. Yeah. Really hard. So is she gonna be played in MSI? Absolutely. She's busted. The early game, her biggest weakness just got completely covered by the Q buffs, and this is gonna make her viable. So expect this champ.
Yeah, because what I would say is like the way you typically would play against Syndra is that her early levels are not super great, right? Because the base damage on her Q and the cooldown was high. So what you would do is you can sidestep, but you also just tank it if you're playing a champion that needs to get in range. But now, I believe you take all early game runes. Her Q is hitting for like 110 or something.
It's insane.
Something fucking ridiculous like that. So you can't do that anymore. So her early game is way too strong now. Right? She doesn't really have that many weaknesses in early game.
Fantastic buff, right? Keep it up. All right, so Syndra completely busted. We had some other champs that we wanted to discuss, which was also Sylas, right? Sylas was on the receiving end on some heavy buffs, where they massively increased the Q damage on his first hit. Plus, they also gave him more healing onto the W. How much Sylas have you seen in solo queue?
I have not seen a single one, so.
Really?
I have not seen a single Sylas.
You've not seen a single Sylas?
I've seen jungle, but I'm mid.
Damn, NA is cooked, man. The NA players.
Sylas is trash, dude. Sylas is trash.
NA players have lost all testosterone, dude. They're not even playing Sylas mid.
Because we have that one Sylas guy, that Petrosite guy. Like, he's the Sylas content creator. Like, we got that guy.
Who?
That's the only guy I see. Petrosite?
Never.
You never heard of this guy?
Nah.
He's like a Sylas. He's like a high elo Sylas main in NA.
Nah, look, I legit think Sylas is good on mid lane.
I think he's better. I don't good.
Let's look at some stats here.
I'm biased.
Look at his fucking stats, man.
Okay, but let me see his win rate against other master players, right? Or like the people his skill level. 51.
Not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Not too bad. Yeah. Let's take a look at the big boy leagues here. Okay.
See, that's what I mean. See, my elo, you know, like in my elo, so it's not as high.
It's a bit all over the place here. It's a bit all over the place. It's a bit all over the place. Yeah, reality. Wow, you can see that his win rates like really went up since the buffs. It's been a massive.
I guess they are big buffs for sure.
Yeah, look, I think we're gonna see Sylas, right? Quite a bit as well.
Definitely.
We can do a little bit of a pro check, guys. Whenever you're unsure, you can just type in Sylas in LoL VVV, and every pro that has played this champion will then be spotted here. So we see quite a bit of.
I don't see a single Korean
EU pros. Cocoon does not sound European. Oh no, we see Closer. One game of Closer.
Not see my Sylas here, buddy.
No, not that much.
I don't think he's good. That good, man. I don't think he's that good.
Very limited Koreans. Now I have to admit that I don't know what these Koreans are doing, but I've been stalking like Zeka and stuff like that, and they're just not playing the game right now. They're just not playing solo queue. So you would expect like Zeka to like lock in this champion, but this guy's he's been playing a little Trist, but he's been very little solo queue. But you would expect at least like a Sylas game or two from this guy if he would be like
0, buddy. Yeah.
Okay, let's not put him in the OP tier then. In the previous patch, we had him in S. I personally think he stays there.
I think that's accurate though. I do think S is good. Like I don't think he's before we see, he's definitely a lot better now for sure. The Q minimizing, the W healing,
Yeah.
fighting is better, skirmishing is better. He's not bad. I just still am personally a Sylas hater because some of his matchups are bad. He doesn't scale that well. You have to be good with the R's. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad on him personally, but I think S is fair for him for
Okay.
sure.
Great. Let's move on to Diana. We put Diana in the B tier. And there were some comments in the previous episode that mentioned, hey, you guys sure Diana is B tier? She feels pretty strong. I have not seen a single Diana mid in, I don't fucking know, a year on Europe.
I haven't seen either.
You haven't seen any either?
I had doing some research into Diana. I do think my opinion's changed. I do think she's better than I give her credit for.
Okay.
And that's because of the range of her E. Actually, do you know the range of her E?
850?
Yeah, that's absurd. It's 825, I think. It's absurd.
825.
That's so high for a melee champion. So, I don't know. I'm personally of the mind that I think she's actually not... Okay, well, this guy's a Diana jungle player, so everyone discredit his opinion right now.
Okay, so let me talk about Diana here. No, look, she's... I don't think she's a super good mid laner, actually.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think she is better than B tier. And yeah, what do you want to say?
Because what I was gonna say is that because Matt, he's a Diana main in the MLA, right?
Yeah.
He's from NA, and he showed me some of the VODs of there's like a 2.2k LP Diana player. I don't know if he's EU or NA. I forget which one he is. He's studying his games, and he was talking how these Diana players just don't even lane. What they do is they just hard push every single wave, and they impact the map, right? The arc second guy, yeah, like this guy is Giga high elo and EU playing.
When does this guy play the game? This guy does not play the game at the same time that I do, because he is
high for you, buddy.
He is playing at a completely different fucking time zone than me.
Yeah, this is. I was studying his gameplay, and this dude is just constantly having prio on the map, and he's just looking for plays on the map. And what he does is he does the unskilled Diana setup, which is what you do is you stack up your grasp, you E them without landing your Q, and then you just W with shield bash, and you Q them point blank, and you fuck them up in trades. And you don't even need to land your Q to start the trade. You just jump in with E right away with the massive E range, with W auto Q with grasp.
That's boring. Yeah.
And he just one shots the wave. Otherwise, he just one shots the wave and roams. And I was watching. I was like, this looks pretty oppressive to play against early game. To be honest with you.
Maybe so good to send me that. I want to see that because my view of reality is just getting shattered right now. Hearing this, right? So I need to see it to believe it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think she's a little bit better than BT. I think she's A. Okay. Like I played a game with her. Granted, I didn't play against people my skill level, right? So I'm playing against people worse than me. But when I played it, I felt good to be able to always have like a button where I can just like press, like I don't even need to Q, just E, W, Q them. I went Storm Raiders and you just run away with Storm Raiders. Or you W the wave, you one shot the wave.
Okay.
So I found that not too bad. I do think she falls off, and she's like her team fighting is pretty trash, to be honest. I think it's really awkward to team fight. But
she's a bit of a stat stick in a way.
She's a stat checker, and I feel like she's a good stat checker right now. Like she has a lot of good matchups. Laning is good. Just she falls off pretty fast.
So what we're gonna do, right, is since you've studied and I have not, right? I'm gonna trust your opinion here. We're gonna put her in a low A, and next patch we're gonna revisit that, and we're gonna see if this is actually an A tier champ. So do keep in mind, guys, that this is a very flexible champion right now. Yeah. And this, to really reintegrate this is a higher elo tier list, right? So this is not for below like Emerald, because if you would say like this below Diamond, below Emerald, this champion would be way better because the champions finish way less.
High elo. Yeah,
way. Yeah. Correct. Okay, there was also a question about Viktor, right? What was the state of Viktor? We put Viktor in S tier. And I think that he is the perfect S tier champ at the moment. I think that's where he's at. He's got a bit of counterplay, and you can attack him through the wave and through early game skirmishes. But he's a really strong isolated laner. It's very good side laning once you get your passive, and there's really good late game team fighting. This champion is strong, but not unbalanced, I would say.
Yeah, agreed. Like I think anything in S plus. I think anything in S plus is like objectively like unbalanced. Like they are definitely their champions kits are just better than the rest right now, given their numbers. I think, yeah, Viktor is the definition of a champ where he's like, great, he's really good. You're gonna climb. You're gonna have tons of success with Viktor, but he has weaknesses. You're gonna feel those weaknesses. You're gonna have to overcome them. Which, yeah,
Yep.
I think that's perfect for S tier, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Love it. Viktor is a great champ at the moment, guys. Really recommend climbing on him if you like this control mage style. And if you're an Orianna player and you don't vibe with Syndra because of her skill shots, maybe, then Viktor is an amazing, amazing alternative. There was one champ that we didn't touch on yet, which is Hwei, that we wanted to discuss. Hwei buffs, right? You've played Hwei. I've not played
a lot of Hwei.
Yeah, how did they feel?
Great buffs. They felt amazing. I'm excited to play Hwei now. Like, he's my go-to control mage now.
Okay.
He's really good. He is really, really, really good.
Wow.
I consider him like as with Viktor, I think. Like, he's right there alongside
he's
Viktor.
really that good, huh?
I had such a good time with Hwei recently. Like, the ECD, it's mostly the ECD, but what I've been doing is, like, I'll just EW one side of the lane, and then QQ the other side. So once you, like, get your shove, you're just constantly repeating your QQs. You're getting the E buffs going, the Q buffs going. It felt really good. I've won, like, all my Hwei games recently.
Okay, so Hwei S tier. I can see it, dude. Stats. I've seen him mainly on bot lane. I don't know, but we in EU here, whenever I play solo queue, let's go to my OPG and let's
like it's
show.
Always assassin chance, probably.
No, just look at my last few games, okay? So I played mid. Then I was out of field sub. Mid, AD carry, out of field jungle, mid, AD carry. There's a lot of here top lane. Like basically 1 out of 3 games you're not playing mid lane.
Yeah.
You're either like field, hard field, or like secondary role.
Yeah.
So that's quite often. And I see, therefore, a lot of Hwei AD carry. Hwei AD carry is very, very popular here in Europe. Yesterday, with Liz the Iceborne, picking up Hwei AD carry was not a smart choice. He had a rough time. So don't pick Hwei AD carry if you can't fucking land your spells. You're gonna fucking run it down. Great. Hwei S tier, beautiful champ. Cassiopeia, right? Let's talk about a little bit of the changes, because it's gonna get exciting here. Cassiopeia gets her health per level reduced with 6 per level. And the way that you want to view that is at level 6, that's going to be 30 HP. At level 11, that's going to be 60 HP, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite a hit in that regard.
Lot. That's an absurd amount.
So what are Riot usually aiming for with this? Is this the classic 1%?
I think it's more than that, dude. I think it's going to be 1.5, even 2%. This? Because okay, so Cassio, right? She's a champ that has to take damage to deal damage, right? It's inevitable. So I think HP inherently is going to be more valuable stat on her than other champions in her archetype, right? These types of mages. Not to mention, you don't really build resistances on Cassio, right? Roa already is hit or miss.
You don't like that really, huh?
You don't like Roa, so you're not building any defensive stats really. Like, you sometimes go allies, but most of the time you're going like Blackfire. Blackfire or Seraphs, right?
Blackfire? Bloodhounds.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, you Blackfire Torch?
Yeah, but
Really? Did they build
people don't go that with Seraphs? I swear some people go Blackfire on Cassio.
No, I don't see that shit.
Okay, well, pro players aren't gonna do it. Pro players are all gonna go Roa, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if they all go Roa into Seraphs, I think the value of these nerfs are less.
You think? But it's like 20 HP at level 4. That's a lot, before you have any stats. Like 20 HP is a lot. Like, the thing is, her laning is still going to be absurdly strong, but yeah, we've seen it with Ori and Syndra, how much the base HP matters, And these are on-range champions that don't play really assertively, with their positioning in fights.
Yeah, look, I can definitely see that this is a problem for Cassio, but I think this champion has, like, insane tools as well, right, in her kit. Like, she has, like, so much move speed, dude. Like, I played Viktor yesterday versus, like, Cassiopeia. And he's dodging my E, man. He's not even anticipating. He's just running out of it, man. Like, with this.
You're doing something wrong with these Viktor E's, bro.
And then they TP. You know what happens when they TP? When they have TP and they have Swifty boots, something is bugging. Because they like TP over the map. I need to fucking show you this, man. Where I
crashed out on Cassiopeia.
Yeah, no, this champ is like not really fun to verse in a way. Look, you need to see this shit. Like, This is bugged as fuck. I'm using my ult on her. I got so surprised she just stun locked me in using my R in the lane.
I see.
I think it was right here. Yeah. Look at her porting here. So this is like completely broken. I take Ghost because I think I need to run away from her. So look at her character right now, right? What's this? What is this? Must be bugged, no?
It's home guards plus Swifty boots plus celerity plus the TP movement speed as well, right?
Why is she so fast? I've neve seen this before. This has never happened to me. I was so confused. Yeah, so this champ has massive issues, right? Insanely strong lane. Like, you dodge out on a few of her Qs. I'm just to show it again, right? Like, I'm dancing around every fucking
cash out right now.
Yeah, like I'm dancing around most of the Qs, at least that's what I think, right? I'm dodging all these Qs. She's still full fucking mana. Where's her mana going, dude? She's still full mana after landing.
I do think like Q spam Cassio is obnoxious as fuck to play against.
It's
right?
real obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get too close or you try to farm a minion, she's just gonna eat your face.
Yeah.
So hard to verse this champion.
I mean, I still think she's gonna be really strong, but I do think these nerfs are good, are like also big nerfs. So like that's what I'm trying to get at with these.
Right.
Like, I don't think these are small nerfs at all.
Where would you put her
right now? Small. I would say S+. She's not OP, huh? But like I don't think she's the same tier as Syndra anymore. But she's still absurdly good.
Yeah, thank fucking God the Syndra is good right now. But the problem is...
Syndra's good in the Cassio, right?
These Cassio players are smart, dude. They ban the Syndra.
You gotta ban the Cassio, dude. Eye for an eye, you know?
I can't ban the Cassio. There's bigger problems. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah,
I've been perma-banning Bart, dude. The amount
of... though. Bart's nerfed.
Yeah, thank God, man. Because I had to perma-ban this champ because my supports are like clicking to bot lane from base, and then there's this Bart just taking over the entire map. You can't play the game. Crazy shit. Okay, so Cassio S+ tier. Let's move into some big hitters here as well. Vex, our favorite D tier inhabitant, the probably longest standing dog shit tier champion that we've had in all the patchcasts, right? I think we've done this for over a year now, and
I think she's the only champ that has been stuck here that's never moved. Right?
Yeah, this champ's always been D tier.
Yeah.
So the big question is Vex finally freed from her prison in D tier? E second, E cooldown down by 1 second, R takedown reset window 6 to 8 seconds. So you can basically hold it longer after you get your initial kill. What is your thoughts on these nerfs here?
I actually think she's going to be C tier now. And the reason why is back in the day, the meta build on Vex was actually phase rush, not electrocute. Like Chovy went phase rush every single game, right? Because it's hard to get out as Vex. But she has a decent lane against some melee, some range champions, right? The problem was you're gated by E, because Vex's Q is impossible to land without your E, right? So the E buff is basically a Q buff as well, because again, you're comboing your E into your Q. So I think that's big. That's extremely big. And I actually think Storm Raiders is an upgrade to phase rush for Vex specifically, right?
Right,
because you're a burst champion, right? You hit really hard. So I think those things in conjunction, I actually think she's not too bad because again, her weakness is, which makes no sense, is against melee champs to get on her, right? Which makes no fucking sense. But like her weakness is like if a Yone is on top of you inside lane, you're fucked. But I think the Storm Raiders, like having Storm Raiders, is extremely good. And then the E cooldown is actually really good for winning some of these lanes, and just like that gives you more Qs, right? That's gonna give you way more Qs. I think these are actually really good buffs. The R change, I don't give a fuck about, right? I don't care about the R change. But the ECD, like, because I'm thinking like Hwei's E got reduced by 1, and Hwei's way better at laning now with 1 second off, right? Because you're spamming your E on cooldown. Same with Vex. You're gonna be spamming this shit on cooldown on every single mini last hit window.
I'm gonna be really honest. I think this changes nothing.
No way, man. Nah.
Yeah. Because the way you want to view it with Hwei is different than with Vex, okay? Because Vex needs her passive.
I don't think so, though.
You don't think she needs her passive?
Her E slows them, right? And her E applies the gloom proc. Like her E sometimes doesn't stun.
Yeah.
Fear, but it gives you the gloom proc. So what you can do is just E auto, right? And then hold your Q and overwhelm the mental stack. Dude, I think.
You think this is nice?
I think it's nice, dude. I don't think I'm not gonna pretend like she's good, but she's not dog shit. I
She's
think
not
this will
dog
actually
shit.
be pure dog shit. Yeah.
No.
Especially if you go Storm Raiders and some
Mm.
games where you need it. I actually think she won't be too terrible.
I think she's fucking terrible, man.
Nah, man.
I'm
No
just gonna
way.
buy a no magic mental and there's no.
No way, dude. You go black. You go. Okay, ready? This is the build.
Okay, bring on.
You're gonna go Black Fire Torch.
Blackfire Torch.
You're gonna go Black Fire Torch. You're gonna go
What?
Storm Raiders. You're gonna take Scorch. You're gonna take Absolute Focus. You're gonna shit on your lane, right? And then you're gonna use that lead, and you're gonna actually be able to play the game with this. I'm right, dude. Look at the WPA on Blackfire compared to Luden's.
Yeah. 40% plus 0.2.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, dude. You know I'm a #1 Vex hater. You know I'm a Vex hater.
We're big Vex haters here.
I'm a Vex hater, but I actually think if you play Vex like a mage and not like an assassin, she's actually good. She will be okay with these changes, right? We go Blackfire Cosmic. I actually think that's the build though, not the assassin Vex build. I
can't see it, right? I hope Riot and SodaQ proves me wrong. I love your enthusiasm. I really admire it. And I think what we need to do is we need to see how the change landed. I think she's going to be in between here. We're just going to put her at the bottom of C tier.
Or do we just leave her in D just because we've kept her in D this whole time?
Nah, we should give her a chance. Let her prove herself as a counter pick. Okay.
She gets one patch.
She gets one patch, dude. If she doesn't perform this patch, we might need to make a new tier below D.
Yeah.
We just call it Vex.
Yeah.
All right, then. Vex in C tier for one patch. I want everyone's opinions in the comments. Let us know what you think of this drastic move by Riot Games. Okay, Galio. So there were some questions about Galio not being super bad. So we put Galio in the D tier.
I think we definitely overshot D tier for him.
Yep. And why? Why is Galio not a D tier champ?
I think the reason we had him in D tier is that we thought that the removal of Phase Rush was going to fuck him up, right? Which it did, but I think Galio players adapted, right? I think Galio players were able to go Imperial Mandate with Storm Raiders, I believe, is what they do.
Yep.
And that solves all the problems, right? Because, you're a little bit squishier early game, but you're able to proc the Storm Raiders. You get a lot of haste on your E. You're spamming that E like crazy and that W like crazy. Tons of utility there. And then you can just dive into your, proto belt, secondary item, your tank items, third and fourth, and you're happy. You're kind of back to old Galio. I think the early game is harder now. For sure, right? If you're a new Galio player, you can't just buy no magic on floor space and just do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially because there was Galio buffs, I think, in the previous patch, right?
Yeah, they buffed him too.
Yes, so we might have just forgotten about him and changing him, because I don't think we mentioned him last time.
I think the reason why is we thought that Ryze and Cassie would fuck Galio too hard, right? And they were like the meta champs.
Right. Because what happened is, what I've been seeing in this patch, right, is that the Galios have actually been starting Doran's Helm.
Oh yeah, there's Doran's Helm too. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So the thing you have to keep in mind is that this mana change is actually a really big deal for him, because he's a mana hungry champion.
Like, you don't absolutely need D-Ring. Right?
I'm not sure about the specifics. Maybe D-Ring is still infinitely better, but I've seen some Galio players just start D-Helm, and it's been hard to break through in the lane.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see the win rate of D-Helm.
Yeah,
it is getting nerfed though, by the way. D-Helm is getting nerfed.
Yeah.
The win rate is trash on D-Helm, actually, compared to D-Ring.
It might just be ass, right? I think that Dawn's Ring is probably still better, because the mana is just so OP. But the Mandate has been such a blessing.
Mandate is really good.
Right? Yeah. And that's something that we didn't really anticipate, the Mandate.
Yeah, because I thought about it being good, but I didn't think it would be that good, because you don't get any tank stats. But I think the new Storm Raider is actually better than Phase Rush if you can proc the Storm Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Which when you go Imperial Mandate, you can on Galio.
Yeah. I think Mandate is a bit of a hit him.
Right?
Yeah.
They're making it better. I think they're actually making it better.
Yeah, they're making it way better. So they're
even removing
5 flat AP.
Who cares?
They're giving you 5 extra haste and 1% extra more damage on immobilization. Way better. This item is going to be... I think this is a scary change to make before MMSI, no?
Yeah, I was trying a little bit of Lux with Imperial Mandate. I think if Lux wasn't a shit champ in mid, it would actually be good.
Yeah, I think this is genuinely decent, this item.
It's a good item, man.
I've seen the Gragas with this item. It's just like E-ing on cooldown.
Gragas sounds cool. Yeah.
So, Galio, what do you say? B tier, C tier?
B. I think B. I think he's solid, dude. I think he's solid.
Okay. Galio B tier. LeBlanc. LeBlanc is getting some
Seems two favorite
changes.
champs, man. Syndra, LeBlanc.
Yeah, I am actually paying off someone at Riot
You're
Games.
paying them, man.
They are listening to me and to my prayers. You guys have been buffing mid lane a lot. Since that we started complaining, they're like buffing mid laners, right?
Okay, buff Yone, please. Somebody, whoever's listening. Give me 2 AD.
Give Yone 5 base HP, okay? I'm joking. Okay, let's break down LeBlanc here, because a lot of people may not understand this change actually. Okay, basically what they do is they're changing her ult, and her ult is basically the same at level 1. Level 1 R is the same, and that's fair because LeBlanc's an early games champion and she's really snowball heavy. But they make her a little bit more skill oriented, so that in the mid to late game she doesn't fall off that hard if you are not accelerated. What they are changing is they are slightly increasing her damage on her level 11 R, on all ults, and on level 16 R even higher. Now, what are they exactly changing? On the RQ and the RE, they are increasing the base damage by 10 flat on the first hit and by 20 flat on the second hit at level 11. And that is just 30 flat base damage at level 11.
Wow.
That's a lot. And for the level 16, that is actually doubled to 60 flat base damage.
Crazy, man.
Crazy base damage. Ori died for this shit, right?
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
For your 2 champs, man.
And the RW is also buffed, but just slightly by half of it. They're buffing that by 15 and 30. Why RW? It's less skilled in a way, right? It's easier to proc just RW than it is Q1 and the RQ and the RE. So this really buffs, like the first thing that comes to my mind is boost traps, okay? Because the moment you boost trap as LeBlanc, what you do is you always get your RQ, right? So this is immense boost trap value. And this is a really big buff because believe it or not, this damage is extremely important for LeBlanc because the lower you can make them, the earlier Shadow Flame procs. And that basically is going to scale up a lot with the rest of the damage that she's going to be dealing with the W, because usually you either do an EQRW or you just do a QRW flat from bush, and you're going to be killing some people, man. You're going to be killing some people. What do you think when you see these changes? We put her in A before.
So the way I view LeBlanc is that LeBlanc's a threshold champ, right? So like you were saying, you either do enough damage to kill one-shot someone, or you don't, and they live, and then they reset. And like, sure, getting the chunk usually is not bad, but yeah, I don't know. This is a lot of base damage, especially because you're a champ that builds a magic pen, right? And again, the way magic pen works is basically effectively a multiplier on your base damage, right? That's what magic pen is. So base damage buffs on the champ like LeBlanc is really, really welcome because you start buying your Sorks, you get your Storm Surge, you get your Shadow Flame, you get your Void Staff. All of a sudden, you're like you're doing way more than actual 30 damage, right? Way more. Like it's like maybe 60, 70 extra level 11, just from the R. And that's a lot on LeBlanc, because your R cooldown is not super long, right?
Low as fuck, dude.
Yeah, so sometimes you might even get 2 rotations, like if maybe not in a fight, but like before you reset, before there's the next deployment on the map, you're getting 3, 4, or 5 Rs. That's a lot of action.
And side lanes, dude, where you like trade in side lanes with your W forward, exactly. QR out attack or QRE, or just these fucking annoying trading patterns. Absolutely.
That is a good buff.
Really good buff. The real question is she gonna be moving up into the S tier? That's the big question. I don't think so. I think she's top of A.
Yeah.
Top of A. She's good, extremely hard. Like, so hard. And I played against the LeBlanc yesterday, and if you have the right matchup and you know how to counter LeBlanc with having a good quality early lane, she's not gonna do anything. Right? She's gonna get fucking blasted. All you need to do is just understand how her trading patterns work. And that basically means that she has a 15-second cooldown on her W level 1. And that means that you're going to just grab up level 2, you're going to push her off the wave, and you're going to be able to win trades because she can't access the wave like this. And it's extremely hard for her. A lot of matches are hard for her. So hard in these range matchups. Rise, Cassio, hard. Like extremely, extremely hard. And even if she lands her W without electrocute like this, if we trade even, it's good for me because I got the wave control. And then I start zapping her at level 2. And a little bit later, she is down all of her HP, and there's nothing she can do. She can't get close. I'm tethering her W, and she just slowly bleeds out. Very, very, very hard to play champion if you don't know all the specifics, and you don't get jungle help, by the way. You don't get jungle help versus a lot of these matchups. It's just hard. Top of 8. Great. Let's move on to... Let's get these two out of the window here. Some brand nerfs. Brand was put in B tier. Was honestly pretty solid champion on mid lane. Not bad. Yeah. They're slightly nerfing it, especially for bot lane. But this is also, of course, going to hit mid massively. They are increasing his base mana regen per 5. But they're also increasing the E mana costs by 20 flat.
A lot.
Yep. Yeah. And they are slightly nerfing the early game passive damage. Okay.
Only the explosion, though. Not like the tick, the explosion when you land your 3-part combo.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts before I actually say anything? What are your thoughts?
Well, okay, so what I really need to see is like how, because the way you lane with Brand is really unskilled. What you do is you just W the wave and then E, and the E spreads and your Deathfire Touch and passive procs on an enemy champion, you fuck them up, right? So I think this is a more bot centric nerf where you're getting like multiple passive explosion procs on the enemy, right? Rather than a mid lane nerf, because you can tempo reset with mid, so the mana cost is as bad. You're not really proccing the passive as much. So I think for mid doesn't really change that much personally, but I do like the nerf on his mana on his E, because it's like the most unskilled shit ever, right? You literally just E the wave and it's the enemy champion.
Yeah. And how do you think this nerf is going to affect him?
For mid, I don't think it should change anything.
No, it doesn't change anything.
No.
I think so, because this base mana increase...
might get buffed later on.
Yes, the E mana cost increase in the early game is going to be annoying. But the cooldown is really low, really high in the early game. You can do it like once per wave, like generally in the early game. Because the wave pushes quite fast, because it spreads to all of the minions as well. So this is actually not a big hit. Neither is this passive, because you don't really use this passive all that much in the first few levels. Right? It's hard as fuck to proc in mid lane.
Yeah.
You need to be playing against the buffoon if they want to get hit by the Q in the early game by Brand. Like, how does that even happen? So, the reality is that this is not even that big of a nerf for Brand, and I think he stays completely the same for mid lane.
Yeah, I agree. Literally nothing.
Yep. Bot lane is probably a little bit different, but I think they did a pretty good job with the nerfs, actually. Not bad.
Great.
Next up, AP Xin Zhao. So there was a question. Is AP Xin Zhao not viable anymore in mid lane? Well, let's do a little bit of research, AJ. Okay. Xin Zhao is not spotted in the list anymore. We're going to go to Xin Zhao, mid lane. Not that bad of a win rate, actually. But this champion is basically dead.
Yeah.
It's really bad since the changes.
I agree. Like, I played against the top. It's really weird. Like, early game, it's kind of bad. Then you get your Shiv and you're really OP, and then you're trash for a while. And then you need like 3 items, and then you're okay, and then you fall off. It's like really weird. Like, you like it reminds me of like Warwick, if that makes sense. Like, it's like one of these weird cheese champions where it's like if you don't know how to play against Warwick, and Warwick is that low HP just drain tanking you, it's like, well, fuck this. Like, fuck this champion. But then once you learn how to play against Zen, and you like space his range, and you don't trade with him like you wouldn't against a Vlad, and you abuse his weak wave clear, it's kind of bad. I think he's better, a little bit better in top, in my opinion.
I think he's ass, dude. I think this champ shouldn't even be in mid lane anymore.
Yeah, I think he's bad. I haven't seen it either.
Yep, he's ass right now. Don't play Xin Zhao mid. You're actively griefing your teammates.
Yeah.
We got one more question that I want to cover here. I'm gonna read it out for you here. This was a question in the comments from the previous PATCHCAST episode. AJ, as a fellow Azir main, what do you think is a good champion to swap instead of Azir? If I am Heartstruck Emerald, Azir main / OTP, I suck at something like Ahri, I fall asleep playing Orianna and Viktor, what gives the Azir dopamine without being D tier?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that jump out of my head is like, let's talk about what Azir players enjoy about Azir, right? They enjoy the flexibility, be able to do a lot of different things in a fight, right? They enjoy the damage output in team fighting, and then they enjoy side laning, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we need to find some sort of champion that has those properties, right? A champion that can side lane, a champion that's flexible team fighting, and that has high damage output, right? So the first ones that jump to my head.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first ones that jump to my head are like Yasuo. I mean, Yasuo's hard as fuck, right? But like, I'm just giving examples, not saying to play them, but these are the champs that would fit that archetype, right? I think Yasuo. I think he talked about Ahri, but definitely Ahri, right? I think Aurora is like at the top of my list there for that one. Like, I think Aurora is like a great transitionary champ from Azir to Aurora. I think Trist as well, actually. I think Trist, you could, like, she has all those flexible options. I think those are the ones that jump out to me right away. Those would be the ones I'd recommend. What do you think?
First one that immediately popped up in my mind, Aurora. Like,
yeah,
immediately. Aurora. Hard as fuck, dude. Aurora. You're not
Yep.
gonna have easy time playing this champ, but it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, Aurora.
yeah.
Jack of all trades.
I think if you
can do
come from like
anything.
Azir to Aurora, though, like I think that should be like it's gonna be different. But like if you could get to Emerald as Azir from like low elo, you could definitely like pilot Aurora and Emeralds like after like at least 100-ish games, right?
Yeah. The main difference is especially how you use your Q in the lane, right?
Yeah.
Early lane trading, early lane reference points. And instead of like playing like super side, you're gonna be a little bit more shovel moving and a little bit more translation of your leads while playing Aurora.
100%.
Okay? Fantastic. So yeah, this was like all of the changes. Now, since this is the MSI patch, right? And we do this always before like the big international tournaments.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big champions that are going to be played and picked at MSI. Top 3 mids that we're gonna see at the tournament. Bring it on.
Ooh. Okay, I think number 1, Syndra. Maybe not number 1. I'm not gonna go in order here. I'm just gonna list out what I think the top 3 are, though. I think Syndra.
Just list them out. Okay.
I think it's gonna be Syndra. I still think it's gonna be Ori. Actually, I think it's gonna be Syndra, Ori, and last one, some Ari.
I think Ari.
I think those are my 3 picks.
Okay, so there's AJ here. I'm gonna go for Syndra. I think we're gonna see Cassio still a lot. And as a third, I'm gonna say Ryze. Don't sleep on Ryze, boys. This champ is still in the run. Right? Very, very, very good champion still. I'm fucking excited for the MSI. Yes. Final predictions. Which team is gonna take it home?
There's no Gen G anymore, so I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with HLE, dude. I think HLE.
They're good, huh?
You just look at the names of the players on their team. Like the weakest player is Guma, right? That's crazy to say, you know, that their weakest player.
They always call him the weakest player, man. Fucking
dude,
Guma.
He's the weakest player, man. He is. That's not to say he's bad, but he's the weakest out of the 5 players on that roster. That just shows how good that roster is, though. I think.
I think that the Zeus guy is like, how do you beat him as a Western top?
Yeah. How do you beat him? Like,
how do you beat him?
Yeah, because like when you watch Jace versus Sion, and it's any player besides Zeus, Sion looks like the most OP champ in the game. But then when you see Zeus play Jace versus Sion, it's like, oh, this is why Jace is a counter pick to Sion. Like I understand why. Yeah,
he's so good. That guy is like a brick wall.
And Zeka has just been insane recently. His form has been insane.
Oh, like Zeka has been a blessing because I've been watching this website here. LOL Gosu.
Oh, you can see. Oh,
I go to Zeka. I've been watching all of Zeka's VODs because this guy, he's rank 1 Korea, right? But not only that, the way he plays the game, there's just no mistake, man. It's like robotic.
He's kind of like Prime Chovy, right?
Dude, the way he's laning, like, wow. I've watched some of these VODs.
I'm gonna watch some of these. Some of this website.
Yeah, this LOL Gosu, and then you go to mid, and you can just find all the Korean pro VODs here. It just gets updated daily. What I do is, before I start my solo queue block, I watch like 2 or 3 of these.
Dude, that's so good.
And I'm just watching the VODs. I'm just reviewing it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you in links.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, keep a look at Zeka. Black Horse. What is it? Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
What's the other team in LPL? Not BLG. What's the other team?
You got BLG and TS.
Nah, no way. No way. Those guys are gonna be HLE. Dude, do I gotta pick an EU team as my dark horse?
You could. You can also pick T1. T1's coming from
that's not okay, but that's not a dark horse though. You know, dark horse is like something.
I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe. I don't think T1 is super good.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe G2. Like it pains me to say a European team, but low key they're kind of good.
Let's see what G2 is gonna do. I hope they're gonna bring a performance as first end. I want to give a little bit of a hot take, right? My hot take is if we go to MSI. LOL, we're gonna go to the fandom. We can already see the bracket here, right? My guess is that NA is not gonna win a single game versus EU, LPL, and LCK. I think NA is gonna only win versus like the DCG and the other wildcard regions. I think they're not gonna get a single game win versus the other regions. That's my hot take.
That's crazy. Yes. That is crazy, bro.
Yes, I think NA is going to get smoked. They're gonna get smoked.
The problem is I can't even argue with that because I don't think NA's that good right now either. That's the problem, dude. Like, I can all have fighting power. You took our best players, dude. Bring
Yeah, we did.
Jojo and what's his name, Busio back to NA, and then we'll have some firepower. You know?
Yeah, it's been a shame that NA fucking sucks. I'm just gonna say it out there. Like no disrespect to the NA players, right? But a little bit of banter is definitely a play here, and I definitely like over exaggerating. But I don't know. When I watch LCS, I've watched some games, especially with C9.
I can't even watch it myself, dude, and I'm an NA fan. I can't even watch it. It's so weak.
I watched the C9 breakdowns from like the Yamato Cannon guy, where because of the I will dominate situation, right? Of course, horrible for him that the playoffs don't go the way that the normal season goes. That sucks for a team like that. But when I looked at these games, I wasn't convinced by any of the NA teams. Like they didn't convince me. Not in the EU, by the way. EU didn't convince me in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
EU didn't convince me.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get. I think both of you are gonna get.
Yeah, we're gonna get destroyed this too, man.
Like the fact that Berserker. Okay, like for context, Berserker.
Yeah.
When he went to LCK, his team was 1-22, I think, right? And he was like solo losing the game for his team. Like his team wasn't good, but he was not playing well every single game. He comes to NA and he's like the split MVP or something, you know? So that should show you the skill level difference from NA to Korea.
Oh yeah, he went DN Freaks. I was literally losing every game, dude.
Yeah, he was literally 1-22 or something. But then he comes to NA and he's like the split MVP, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, what did he? LCK Cup 2025. This one, huh?
Yeah.
I think it was like lost.
Like his players were not that like Bulldog was constantly rank 1. Like he was like his team wasn't great. I'm not gonna say pretend the team was great, but they were not that bad where they should not even win like 2-3 series. You know, they literally lost every single series.
Which team is like losing every game right now? Isn't that like the team with Piosek again? Is DNS not like losing every game again?
I think they are.
Like on paper, they don't have like a terrible team, no? Because this closer guy is also like top of the ladder always. Like
yeah, but dude, it's just the LCK. So every team is good. Like you read the names of every player on LCK, and you're like, damn, their roster isn't that bad, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Anyways,
so
enough yapping.
That shows. Yeah, we're yapping way too much.
We're yapping way too much. We've talked enough about MSI. We've talked enough about the patch in the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah. Put your comments, questions, MSI predictions, everything that you got in the comments. And if you want to get coached by us, check out the link in the description. AJ, any final words?
No, man. Excited for MSI.
Yep.
Having a great time.
It's going to be an absolutely fantastic tournament. And if you want to check out more of AJ's content, by the way, AJ has a YouTube channel. He's been uploading some of his gameplay. And I really recommend you guys check that out because he's very educational and he's really, really, really good at teaching the game and playing the game. Insane player. You're going to learn a lot from him. Thank you all for watching, guys. See you guys in 2 weeks. Peace out.